Well, welcome to this BeerGuysTV BrewCast, and we are broadcasting from the studio in Glencoe, Minnesota. But recently, we are at the IPA Invitational, brought to you by Lupulin Brewing out of Big Lake, Minnesota.
If you're looking for serious, in-depth beer information, well, you're listening to the wrong show. But if you want fun and entertaining beer information, you've come to the right place. It's another Beer Guys TV podcast.
They had a lot going on a warm summer's day.
They did. They had 27 brewers.
Yep, 101 recipes.
101 recipes, and they let each brewer bring in what they called a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And
some of those cards were wild.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
This was put on by Lupulin Brewing.
Yep.
And they held it at the ERX Motor Park in Elk River.
Yeah, right off of Highway 169 north of Elk River.
Very easy to get to.
Yeah.
A lot of parking.
Yep, and it's a neat facility. They have a lot. I didn't realize they have so much going on there. But fortunately, it was a nice day. I mean, it was plenty warm.
But there was a breeze.
There was, and then good thing you were there.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, Brent, he's there. He's there to help.
They had a tent with some music.
Yep.
A tent you can go in with tables. You can
Yep.
cool
Get out of the
off
sun a little bit,
and
and water. Lots of water
Plenty of
available.
water.
Yep. So you can
Food.
stay hydrated
Yep,
in
that's some
between.
food trucks.
Yeah, food trucks were there, and
Yeah.
it was a fun event all around. Now, we interviewed Paul.
Yep. Paul Johnson.
Yep, and we'll show a clip of him here in a moment. But he did say that this, you might, even though this is an IPA invitational, there's a lot more than just IPAs.
For sure.
So if you don't care for IPAs, you're going to get a wide gamut of other kinds of beer as well.
Well, now we're talking with Paul Johnson, who helped. He's kind of liaison on this deal, putting together, worked with the media, worked with the beer guys. Of course, he's a little bit of a beer guy himself. And you helped kind of coordinate some of the exposure and really kind of help wrangle some of the folks in here. How'd it go in your opinion?
Well, I think this is a really great show for people to attend. You can actually meet the brewers who brew the beer. And the thing is, there's 27 total brewers, and there's more than 100 recipes. And not only is it focused on IPAs, but you can get other things like Belgian Saisons, stouts. So it goes beyond just the IPA realm. And some of the brewers that otherwise you'd never see in the States, such as Casa Agria, Mumford, Drecker. So this offers a special opportunity to a craft beer drinker to experience something different and taste beers that they would never have access to in the liquor store or otherwise.
Right.
As far as IPAs, they're most flavorful and the most interesting sort of beers on the market, at least in my opinion. So it's like almost everybody I talked to found something that they like. And I think that's important.
I would agree on that. There was a good variety of all sorts. Yep. IPAs, like you said, sours, all these different varieties. And the wild cards were pretty interesting too, in some cases.
Yeah, very good. All right, thank you, Paul. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. There was some interesting.
And some sours.
Yeah, plenty. It's surprisingly the amount of sours and saisons that were there.
Yeah,
that was an interesting deal there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So some very very good stuff, and some of the brewers that were there were their beers weren't available in Minnesota, but maybe someday down the road. But they just wanted to be up there and be a part of it, because Jeff from Lupulin had invited them, and they were there, and it was fun to talk to them and get their perspective from their part of the country. Some from
St. Louis,
Seattle, Milwaukee,
Indiana.
Indiana,
California had a couple.
Oxnard,
Oxnard, and one other one, and
Fargo.
Wisconsin.
we had Fargo, North Dakota. We had Moorhead, Minnesota, which is just across the state line, basically.
Yeah, and Wisconsin, of course. Had
Yep,
a couple.
a couple from Wisconsin there, So
Well, we did an interview with Jeff. Let's take a look at that now.
yeah, here's Jeff from Lupulin Brewing, and talking about the event right now. Well, welcome everybody as we wrap things up here from the Lupulin Brewing IPA Invitational. Greg Johnson along with Brent and Carol and Shane and Chris and Paul and of course we got Jeff here from Lupulin, and wow, what an event.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. This is our second year. And great day. Weather was awesome. I mean, the wild card really entered into today, especially with everybody bringing a really, we had sour beers, we had lagers, we had pilsners. I mean, it was a perfect day to have some of those night lice, crushable type of beers for the weather that we had out.
Yeah.
We asked each of the breweries to bring, several of their different IPAs and then throw a wild card in. So
neat idea.
Yeah.
Neat idea.
Yeah.
I know. Even Carol was like, she's not a huge IPA person, but you found plenty that you like. Yeah. So a little something for everybody.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing that we want to do is continue to grow the event and bring in, again, more of the breweries from outside the state of Minnesota that our consumers and our craft beer drinkers here in Minnesota aren't able to get their hands on. So, again, this year we had almost a 50-50, but 3 of those breweries are actually distributed here in Minnesota. So truly we had 10 breweries out of the 27 that were not available here in the state of Minnesota. This invitational is really special. We want to make sure that we got owners and brewers and people that are actually manufacturing the beer here to talk to the people that sets things apart. We're trying to make this a special for the consumer to be able to have that opportunity. So
that's what's nice, because Brent and I talked as well. We're talking to some of the brewers, and you're right in the store showing, how are you doing this? And they can say, well, we tried this, we did that. And kind of, wow, you really, it really gives it a whole new feel. A lot of times you do it, it's just somebody pouring, I don't know, I'm just pouring beer. It's more fun when you're at the store.
The brewing industry and the beer community is one of friendship and community and collaboration. So really it's all about bringing in people that we've met through the years, networked with, and just having a good time. It helps get our name out there, but you know what? We're all about trying to share with everyone within the beer industry in the state of Minnesota to bring in some of these great breweries.
One of the breweries I talked to, and I said, it's nice to have you here. Well, Jeff and the guys came down to our deal last year, so we're returning the flavor. Neat. That kind of, we're all working together. It's just craft beer and it's fun. So, well, I'd have to say, from our perspective, we weren't here last year, but good job, and they enjoyed being part of it, and talked to a lot of happy people. I didn't see any unsatisfied customers, so good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, and
thanks, guys.
And
awesome.
We'll hopefully see you next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Shane and Chris and Carol and Jeff and Brent and myself, Greg Johnson, until next time, beers to ya.
Wow. I don't have my beer. My glass disappeared.
We stole all your beer.
He stole all my beer.
Hey, and Jeff had a lot to say about, obviously at that point things were tearing down and it was all done, and he was pretty pleased with the event, the way it sounded. And
I like the idea of them asking a lot more brewers to come next year as well.
Yeah.
So Paul Johnson, he did some media coordination with the event. He invited us, Minnesota BeerCast, and I think Channel 11 was there, somebody was saying. So there was a lot of media as well, some good media coverage, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's great for the craft beer industry. People get a chance to try something different. And I didn't see anybody getting too crazy. It was a hot day. They paced themselves.
Yeah.
They had your little sample glass and made the rounds and take a break, get out of the sun for a little bit, have something to eat or drink, and like water. Made it a bit for a fun day. It was nice because they had a nice long day there. You could come and go, and most of the time those things are only 2 or maybe 3 hours long. This one was 4 hours long.
Yeah, it was 4 hours from 2 to 6.
Yeah.
And then the VIP tickets got in an hour early.
Yep.
So it was a lot less, a smaller crowd.
Yeah.
You didn't have to fight for getting.
I suppose if you went that route and you wanted to hit as many as you could before people were there, in an hour you could probably work your way through a fair amount.
You could, and then go back for the ones that you really wanted to try some more of. With VIP tickets, you also got to be kind of go to an air-conditioned building and cool off. They had
some food,
some lunch in there.
Yeah. Nice lunch.
So if you opt for the VIP tickets, you do get a good package.
Yeah, that's nice. So I thought it was a first-class event. I thought they did a great job.
We tried some of these, and actually we did some podcasts on these. So look around for the podcasts on our BeerGuysTV.com.
Yep.
Our YouTube channel.
Right.
BeerGuysTV, and of course follow us on Twitter and YouTube and all that fun stuff. Let me give you a list of the breweries that were there in 2019.
Okay.
18th Street Brewery.
Yeah, they're out of Indiana. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Second Shift Brewing.
St. Louis. Yep.
Ayer Brewing out of Elk River.
Out of Elk River. That was the local guys. Yeah. Yep.
Bent Paddle.
Yep. Out of Duluth.
Yep. Black Stack.
Yep. Out of the Metro. Yep.
Bottle Logic Brewing.
I think they were out of California.
They may have been. The Brewing Project. The Brewing Project had a very interesting beer, and it was very orange and very solid, and
it looked like Tang.
it kind of tasted like Tang.
I think that was the Frutiki.
Yes,
that
the
was good.
Frutiki.
It was very good.
Yeah, very interesting. Casa Agria, Specialty Ales, Delta Beer Lab, Drastic Measures, Drecker, Eagle Park Brewing, Fair State Brewing, Finnegan's, Forager Brewery, Junkyard, Little Thistle, Lupulin, obviously, Modest, Mumford.
California.
Yeah, they came from California as well,
Yeah.
and they had some interesting beers too.
Yep.
It's fun to get those out-of-state beers in Minnesota because they're not even distributed here.
Right. So it's something really different, and see what they're doing out there in the LA area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Noon Whistle, Pipeworks, Spilled Grain, Stoop, Surly, Unmapped Brewing, and Untitled Art.
Yeah.
So it's quite the variety, and from all over the country. It was fun for me to try the different beers from outstate. I've tried a lot of local beers anyway, but we did concentrate more on the outstate stuff.
Right. Yeah. That was a good event all the way around.
And there were, like we were saying earlier, very interesting offerings from different people. I mean, there was one that wasn't there a marshmallow.
Yes.
It was peach
marshmallow, and you could taste both of those in that beer.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
There was a couple of one coconut beer, and that actually was surprising to me too.
Yeah.
Even Surly had a kind of a different. What was it?
Couple
Loops
different
and,
ones.
Loops
Yeah,
and
yeah,
dots.
Dots and loops. Or
Dots and
whatever
loops,
it was. Yeah.
So
there was a coffee habanero.
Modest Brewing, I think. Had
and that was a. It's like 12% on
coffee
the ABV.
But it wasn't dark. Is that the one?
No, there was a blonde. There was a blonde.
Yeah, there was a blonde. Yeah.
So there was a blonde. So the one my
But
wife gave me a taste of was a stout.
Yep.
It was really sweet coffee, and then
Peppers.
all you got was the heat at the you didn't get like the flavor,
Yes.
but just the heat. It was really I thought it was
Interesting stuff. So anyway, we're already looking forward to next year, and if you didn't make it, or even if you did, make sure you put it on your agenda. Check out the IPA Invitational when it rolls around next year from Lupulin Brewing out of Big Lake, Minnesota. Stop by and see Jeff and the gang there, and looking forward to that.
all right. Yeah. Well, let's invite them to next year, and we'll see them there. And until next time,
Beers to ya.
Beer Guys TV reminds you to drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and always use a DD. Be sure to expand your beer list by trying something different. Remember to check out BeerGuysTV.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for listening to this Beer Guys TV podcast. Sponsor messages you hear on our podcast are paid endorsements unless otherwise stated. These messages help us bring Beer Guys TV to you. We encourage you to support our sponsors so that we may continue to provide quality entertainment and information. Our reviews are honest opinions. Your opinion and taste may vary. We encourage you to try beers and products for yourself and form your own opinions. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what beer you like and send us your suggestions for us to review. You can contact us at BeerGuysTV@gmail.com.